Hi, Ryan Dotson here with SurvivalSullivan.com. This morning I wanted to talk to you a little bit about one of the oldest and I guess most classic types of traps that you can use for trapping wild game, and that's a pit trap. And I remember back when I was a kid watching Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner dig pit traps to try and catch each other. But they do work very well if you're willing to put the effort into it to try and set it up. They work especially well with larger animals. For today's purposes, I'm going to show you kind of a scaled down version so that you can just get an idea of how everything works. But the larger the animal is and the more that it weighs, the more damage it's going to do when it falls in a pit, and the harder it's going to be for it to get back out. So just to give you kind of a drawing here, and then we'll head outside and show you a little bit more. But what you want your pit trap to look like, if at all possible, is you want the base to be wider than the opening. You want it to be deep enough to where that animal is not going to be able to jump out of it. So again, it depends on what animal you're going after as far as prey. But if you've got a rabbit or a squirrel, you may want to make it significantly deeper than even this to try and make sure that it can't get out of there. Now, the other two pieces of this are you definitely want to have a covering over the top. So you're going to thatch covering over the top as a framework, and then you're going to want to put some sort of debris like leaves or grass over top of it so that you can't really see that it is a trap. I like to put bait right in the center of that so that you have a reason for the animal to go out onto that weak area and fall down in there. And then if you want to, you can put additional hazards in the bottom, whether it be water or pine resin, or you've probably seen people use sharpened sticks in the bottom to injure that animal whenever it falls down in there. So that can cause the maximum amount of damage, especially if you're going over trying to catch something like a possum or a small pig or something like that. That's going to have enough weight to where those spikes can really do a lot of damage once it falls in there. And then, of course, that makes it harder for it to get back out. So I'm going to go use a small pit that I've dug just primarily to show you what the thatching looks like on top if you do everything right. So we'll go ahead and shut it down and meet you outside. Okay, so here's the pit that we dug, and we're going to use some of these dead plants to thatch over top of that, and then use some other debris to really hide it. So I'm going to go ahead and put all that together and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so there's our pit after it's been thatched over, and now we're just going to use some grasses to lightly spread it out over the top there. So that is your hidden pit trap that you can see there, and from any angle it's really hard to see that there's any danger there. So you'd put your bait right in the middle, and then if something comes walking along, then they fall right through the center there. That'll only hold a little bit of weight. So that's how to build a conventional pit trap. I appreciate you watching. This is Ryan Dotson with SurvivalSullivan.com, and we'll catch you next time.